where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Curious Times. It's Friday night. Welcome to your weekend. Saturday morning for our friend Selva. They're in Australia. And it is October 27th, so pretty soon all them little rotten kids will be running around begging for candy, forgetting to say please. Not forgetting, because they never learned how to in the first place. And so anyway, that's a big difference, I think, in our generations, but that could just be me. So have fun with all of that. And Selva's here. I got the wrong, what the heck? I put the wrong select file. Selva's here. She's been gone for a while, and she's going to be here not necessarily regularly until, say, the new year or something like this, into the new year. We're going to be playing it by ear every week with Selva, and so we'll hope that we'll have her more often than not. But if not, totally understood, and people have lives to live and responsibilities and all of that kind of stuff. There, now we got the right one. Selva is, for anybody that's been living under a rock and hasn't been kicking around over, at Curious Times, is a life translator, she likes to call herself. I like that term. And so she helps doing coaching, teaching, doing readings, guiding, all of that kind of stuff. And she has a really good style of reading, a refreshing style of reading. She doesn't want to have a question or anything from you other than hear your voice and hear your name, and then let her just communicate whatever she's receiving for you, and then she can give you time after that to ask any specific questions. And that gives you the purest reading, in my opinion, that you can get. 'Cause so often you can, based on someone's tone of voice or how they ask a question, like there's, when will I move? Or will I be moving? Or will I ever move? Like there's, and like when you, like, so you can kind of read into where the person's at, like even just on the subtleness of how they ask that question. And so, I like that Selva just says, don't give me nothing, just your name, and then I'll give you what I'm getting, and then we'll get to some questions at the end of that. So that's good. You can catch up to Selva, just like, go ahead and Google Selva Dutton, but you can find her on Facebook also at, facebook.com/Selva.Nix. And, so let's just go get Selva. How are you doing, Selva?
I'm doing well, thanks. Yeah. I hope everybody's well too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's life in Canada?
It's going to get to be winter here soon.
Well, we're warming up here.
Furnace has been on for over a month.
All right.
Thank God it's working this year. We'll touch wood. I'm touching wood. And, squeeze another year's worth out of it. And so, it's not my favorite time of year by far. And so I'm a spring. I like spring because it's the furthest away from winter. And we kind of
I'm with you. We're at spring right now.
Yeah. We kind of actually have two seasons here, winter and not winter. And winter is longer than not winter. Like, technically we have snow on the ground for more months than, like, so if you were to call winter, there's snow on the ground. Then there's more months, like, then all of the months that we have snow, some kind of snow on the ground for at least part of that month is more than half the year. More than half the year. And so you squeeze three other seasons into less than half a year. You know? And so anyway.
One of a kind.
Yeah. So what do you got to talk about today?
I've been, this week it's been really good because with my mum, I've forgotten about the sounds that can actually help and improve the quality of life. And I'm sure you've heard of the 528 hertz.
No. Oh, yeah, hertz, yeah.
They're 528 hertz and 432 hertz. They're very good, you know, for healing and stuff like that. So I've been really keeping an eye, not on Mum so much because her condition is not going to change too much, but on myself because I've been sitting there making her listen to it, right? You know, I said, no, I'll sit with you, Mum, and I'll listen, you know. So we have this music going all the time. And I have noticed, actually, that they actually do work. They actually do give you more energy. They do actually revitalize your body. So I'd strongly recommend people Google it. 528 hertz, Hertz, and listen to it. Just put 10 minutes every day. Just listen for 10 minutes every day, and you would be amazed by about day 3 or 4, you will notice quite a huge change within yourself. And for me, it's been energy, which has been really good because I'm really lacking. I'm just so tired lately. You know, I'm doing a lot of miles. So I live 250 kilometers away from Mum. So I've got to go up to the city, come back to the city, fill in my work and go back to the city. So I'm on the road a lot. And I was getting really tired and burnt out. But I've noticed those 3 days that I'm actually there listening with her, there was quite a rapid change of my energy levels within myself. So I was just wondering, has anybody else tried it or tested it? And yesterday I found the 432 hertz, which is for healing. It's for purely healing and restoring as well. So it's a little bit different than the 528, but it's actually quite interesting. I was really impressed. So yeah, that's what I thought I'd share with you guys. What's your thought on it?
Well, we've done a lot of shows here on this kind of a thing, and binaural beats, of course, is using different frequencies in each ear and using the brain in that way. We've done some music therapy type shows. That 432 is what they call the love frequency, and there have been some artists who have the recording industry. You know, there's this notion that that there was this sort of the dark forces is what like led to how music's being done in the current frequency, which I can't remember what it is. And there's, you know, some people on the movement to get all music put to like 432, and there's some places, although I haven't searched recently, where you can like get music converted from whatever frequency it's been done into. And so the notion is that something as subtle as the frequency that a song is played in, it can affect you deeply and without you knowing, almost like the old subliminal messages. So you could have the same song in two different frequencies, and one may produce a more peaceful feeling within you, and one may produce a more raging, agitated kind of a response from you. And they say that the music that they're, that is mostly mass-produced now is done in that particular frequency. I have some, and I've had guests on that have music in different frequencies for this purpose. And we had another person who has like there. If you Google it, like you'll find all kinds of, like you'll find on YouTube, for example, you'll find all kinds of different tracks, and one might be like, here's the marijuana track, here's the painkiller track, here's the here's the connect with your third eye track, here's the you know what I mean, like healing in general. So there's like there's something, there's something for everything. And these people that are producing this are putting a name on it and claiming that that their particular song or that particular track will be almost like a replacement for. So you don't need to smoke a joint. You just have to listen to this song. You know what I mean? And there you have your marijuana, And so I don't know about that, but I do know that, any kind of, that they've had the big inquiry going on now about the diplomats from Cuba, who, a number of diplomats in Cuba have become disabled, and they're trying to find they feel that they've been targeted specifically, and they're trying to investigate whether sound waves of some kind have been used to blast them and cause them to go deaf, and where it would be done so that no one knows that it's really happening or that kind of a thing. And so there's also been radio waves. That there was the guy that did the experiment. Man, it's been a long time since I looked at this one, but like, how did he do this? So he found something in a fluorescent light bulb, like that powder or something like that he found that when subjected to certain sound waves, that it would create a kill cancer cells. So what he did was without harming any other cells whatsoever. So what he does in the experiment is he takes a wiener and like he puts and he puts some of this in there in the wiener, and then he has two sort of speakers, for lack of a better way to put it, and then dangle the wiener in the middle of it. Okay, and then blast down. And so what happens is that only the area where the white powder from the fluorescent light bulb gets burnt out, and nothing else is damaged around it. And so again, like there's still a lot to be learned about what can be, but leaving it to man, this is the problem with human beings, okay? You find something that can be very good, that could do good work for people, and then somebody turns away to weaponize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's,
but it's different for everyone, I mean, we all have different songs, and different methods work for different people, So it's up to the individual to be strong enough to actually believe in themselves or whatever they're doing themselves, But the biggest thing is that people can so easily be manipulated to a different direction in a lot of cases that they really sell themselves short, But whenever it's a positive, there's always a negative, and those that do want to be negative, they will find a negative on a glass of water, And even though water is supposed to be the purest thing ever to drink, but it's not now, because you think of pollution in the world and stuff like that. It's all gone into the water and da. So you can really go into it, and then water is not as beautiful as what it was. But you can also say water, you can boil it and kill all the germs and everything. It's absolutely beautiful. Or you can put it through a filter and purify it, and it's beautiful and tasty and sweet,
I mean, and if you go by the Ichiro dude or whatever his name was, the Japanese guy, then
I met him, I met him in Brazil. He he went to see John of God years and years ago, you know. And 1997, I met him, and at that time he was doing that test on the water that he was finding those flakes in the water and energized in the water, and he did a lot of tests on the waterfall near the casa, and he reckons that had the highest energy that he's ever come across, and it was so easy to activate that water that it was just, he was such an interesting man. You know, he was amazing to listen to, Yeah,
the only thing with him, and like I'm all for it, it's not unlike, you know, tell your plants you love them and be kind and gentle to your plants, and you know, they'll grow better than in a hateful environment. And same with children, you know, put children in a home where there's nothing but a bunch of fighting going on around them, and that's going to affect their development, right? But with that Japanese dude, the only quarrel is that, like, if you do a lot of reading with it, and it's not that I disagree with his findings, I can't say that, but he has, at least last time I looked into it, he never did share his research he never did his research for peer review. And so therefore it can't ever get authenticated if you don't subject it to peer review in that way. And so it makes you wonder, like, why wouldn't you share your research, you know, with your peers to have that process undertaken? And then, you know, it's almost like doing your whole master's program and then refusing to and writing your thesis and then refusing to defend your thesis, like my brother did. Like, why would you go through all that work? And there's just this little teeny thing left to do to legitimize it all and make it all, you know, and you don't want to do that part. I don't understand it, you know, but
maybe because they don't believe in themselves enough to expose themselves completely to have that line. Or maybe they like to leave people thinking, questioning things, you know, leaving them dangling.
No, but it's just that, like, I can only ever go from within my shoes, you know what I mean? And certainly we're all different and we all have our own motivating factors and all of that. But, like, if I came up with this great thing and I was absolutely convinced through my research that it would bring about, you know, this great thing, such as with the water, and you could then therefore apply the same thing to your food, to everything. You know what I mean? Then why wouldn't you want to convince the whole world that is, you know, and what better way to do that than scientifically, you know, through peer review. So that's the only reason how I'm looking at it is, if I did all that work for that purpose, then I would want to have it legitimized wholly and fully so that everybody would embrace it as real, and many, many more people could potentially be helped by it.
Exactly. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, the more people that know this stuff, the better it is, you know. It's not given to us just to keep to ourselves. I went and the other day I went and met a guy. His name is Ken Grayson, and he does regeneration healing. And he believes that, you know, it's all energetic. You can be taken back to a spot. Like if, let's just say you went deaf at the age of 10, right?
Yeah.
So he gets you to remember around what was happening around in your life at that age to get your hearing back. And he really believes that. He's written books about it, and he's actually traveling the countryside now, and he's actually going to America in three weeks' time to actually do some workshops and some teaching over there. And he really believes, but also he won't give you the secret piece of how you can do it yourself.
Yeah, I got a problem with that too, but
yeah, I've got a problem with that.
There's the South American shamanism, Muneki.
Yeah.
And so I have a friend that has done all of the initiation rites and everything else to that, and many years back, you know, like it lost me at the point where, you know, she was talking about going back. You can go back in time, even into past lifetimes, and just simply undo stuff. So if you lost your leg in a terrible accident, you know, you could just go back to that point in time, do a soul retrieval, and put your leg back. And you know, like for me, there's some things that are beyond, like those ones want to say nothing's impossible and things like this. Well, and then I get all practical, which is one of my downfalls. And I'm all, okay, I'm 5'5.5". There's nothing in no way through natural means that I can ever be 6 feet tall. You know what I mean? It's impossible. It's impossible. It's not possible. No matter how much I affirmations and how much I, you know, all this, like, that will be impossible. Now, in the case of what you said, you know, like if you lost your hearing. Now, let's say there's some people who have hysterical amnesia or hysterical loss of hearing or hysterical loss of their voice. This would be through some emotional trauma, theoretically, and not some physical cause. And so to that end, I absolutely agree that there's some healing and some work that can be done. But if I here and now cut my effing leg off, there's nothing that's going to let me regrow that leg right now that we have.
That's for sure. Yeah.
And so that's really just where, now I do agree that we're somewhat you know, like there's more would be possible if we could access it somehow. I don't know how to access it, but my example always is this, is that, if we understand that, you know, something that's in a solid state is in that solid state, like take water as your best example, right? When molecules are vibrating at a certain speed, then it's water, it's liquid. When the molecules are vibrating faster, then it becomes vapor, and so therefore it's just vapor. When the molecules are vibrating much slower, then it becomes ice, and it therefore becomes a solid matter. And so if we as human beings could master the art of how to cause the speeding up or the slowing down of molecules, either in ourselves or in other objects around us, then I think it is possible that I could walk through a wall. And it would be probably easier for me to walk through the wall if I change the speed of the molecules in the wall rather than myself. You know what I mean? In other words, I make the wall not solid instead of not making myself solid. But so I think that there is some ability that is just locked away somewhere, you know, that we may be able to access at some point. And I don't know if it's in my lifetime or if it's in a future lifetime, but like I think that ability exists.
That's very interesting. You know, I was just thinking, I would love to see you on a debate, you know, that guy Russell that talks about the earth changes and talks about everything, the water and the high and everything. I would love to see you and him together on a head-on conversation. I reckon it'd be so interesting because you are just such a pleasure to listen to. You get so... You're like me, you get excited and you really go into it. I would love to see you and him together. It would be so awesome. So awesome to talk about different affairs of the changes of the humankind, because that's what we are. We're just going through a complete change and transformation right now. And that's what we're so aware of, the sound of the earth and the water and everything. Everything is affecting. Everything is transforming. And we're trying to make heads or tails of it, even though we may not want to admit it sometimes, but we're trying to make heads or tails of it to see what is there, you know.
The people that are aware of it are, you know, I think still, you know, it's my assertion that, because, you know, I'll hear people from time to time say, oh, more people are waking up or this or that. I hate that.
I don't think that's the case.
I feel like that in every lifetime, in every generation, there's a mix of people. Yeah. And it's because they're all here for different purposes. That's my running theory. You know what I mean? And so, so there are some here that are meant to just be oblivious to all of this other stuff and just go and do their brick and mortar, you know, whatever whatever it is that they're here to do. And there's enlightened people and more spiritual people and more, I hate the word ascended. I hate that word too, ascension. It's so stupid. But, you know, like, just like people make a big deal out of rainbow children and crystal children and blah, blah, blah. And like every generation has had special children. Every generation is meant to have special children. And so, it's just they slap a different label on it every generation. You know what I mean? To make it more special now. You know, oh, mine's not just a mere indigo. Mine is a rainbow crystal child, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of makes me a little bit crazy, you know what I mean? But like, it's like in any one academic year, okay? You have a bunch of children going into kindergarten, and you have a bunch of grown adults that are finishing their master's program, and you have everything in between. And so just as much as in any given academic year, we have every slot filled with millions of people, you know. Same with our own spiritual education, maybe, or evolution, is that we have people at every stage of that process every day. Every day we have new seekers, and we have ones that have, you know, that have really done their hard work for many years. And although you can never say that you're complete, you know, in that way, we have people that are at every stage of spiritual development. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah. You know, I started a children's group here in Collie, and I got this little 4-year-old kid, and she's amazing. She's actually really, really good to work with. And I had toddlers. I had the ages are all variable. I got the youngest one is 2 years old, and the eldest one is 12 years old. And the first day they started the group, I had them all together just to see how they would go all together, right? And then I said to the parents, look, next week we're going to split them into 2 groups, you know?
Yeah.
And so the second week I had the 2 till 6 and 7 till 10 and 11 to 13. So that way, three age groups. But this little 4-year-old kid, you know, we start meditating. She was on the little toddlers group. And after the meditation, she looks at me and she goes, Selva. I go, what? What, Tia? What is it? She says, this is boring. I need to go with the bigger kids. These children are 2 children for me. I go, what? How old are you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I put her up with the next group. But now she's actually meditating with the teenagers. Yeah. Every group that I put her in, she's been really, boy, she cracks me up. You know, she cracks me up. You know, she's such a sweet little kid, you know. And of course the parents are not into spirituality at all, you know, but I actually respect them because their daughter said to them, I want to meditate, and the mother didn't think twice. Okay, that's what you want to do. I'll ring Selva. You know, it was very good. You know, it was such an amazing thing, you know, and this kid is sort of so full of knowledge, you know, and it's just, she's so easy to go. And then next thing, she's just a little shit, you know, that she's tearing things apart, you know.
Yeah.
One extreme to the other. But it is right. I mean, we all have that space, and whoever we are accompanied with is what awakens in ourselves. So I don't believe that we have this greater amount of special children or anything like that. I mean, there's special children anywhere, but I think whatever they're exposed to, that's what they get attracted to. You know, and it's like you get steak and eggs, and one day someone gives you a pie, and you go, I'm not going to eat that. I'm a steak and egg person. But then you try the pie, and you chuck the steak and egg on the side. I would never chuck the steak and egg out, but that's okay. You know? But, you know, that's what I'm saying. So whatever you're exposed to, that's what you have a taste of, and then you find your path accordingly to the experiences that are presented to you in that sense. And kids are very much the same. I mean, I was fortunate that in South America, it's normal to be weird like me. Everybody's like me. So it's great.
Yeah.
You know, and when I came to Australia, it was hard because nobody, you know, I actually got even put to jail for a couple of days for fortune telling, for God's sake. You know, I said, no, I'm not a fortune teller. You know, but it was illegal in Australia and I didn't know it. You know, so it's like it was an evil thing, you know. So it's just whatever you're exposed to is what you accept, and grown-ups as well as kids, they're in the same space. You know, now in Australia, they're starting meditations at school. And that's why this kid came up at the playgroup. They did it once, and she went home and told her mum, I want to do more of that. I want to do that meditation stuff. And because the mother heard about me, and she goes, oh, I'll take you to Selva Nix. And I go, I'm not Selva Nix anymore. I'm Selva Dutton, you know. And she brought the kid over, which is, it's amazing because that's what it is what we're exposed to. That's what we are.
They did a little highlight news on, I think that's in Montreal, Canada, but I can't remember exactly now. But you could probably just Google police department meditate.
I got that. Yeah. The police department meditates before they go on the road.
Yeah, and so, you know, slowly and surely, you know, there's more and more, like, listen, over the years, ever since I've been alive, if you go and you look, and I haven't looked at this again in a few years, but, so I don't know what the new statistics are, but they've been doing the polling, you know what I mean, over, of say the American population, okay, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in psychics? Do you believe in life after death? Do you believe in reincarnation? Those kinds of questions. And year over year, certainly generation over generation, the numbers increasing, and more than half now do believe. And, you know, so as you get there, then, of course, you've got people that are much more open to, like back in the day, like my friend Kathy Bradshaw, like when she was a young child, like they put her in a freaking insane asylum kind of a place because of her abilities, you know what I mean? And just mistreatment of children. I'm sure that some of the children that are diagnosed of schizophrenia or personality identity disorder, these kinds of things are possibly more related to these kids are seeing you know, spirits, or there's communication going on. And as we talk with a lot of our guests, there's a diverse range of how our people receive messages from the universe or from the spirit world or whatever you want to call it. And so some people see things outside of themselves. Some people see pictures inside of their head. Some people hear something inside of their head. Some people hear something outside of their head. And so there's any number of these different ways that people are receiving the information, and it's a lack of understanding and thoroughness, I think, that leads to, similarly like with children that are, you know, heavily medicated with this ADHD stuff and all this kind of thing. Like some cases, like there could be some other cause for this, you know, and it doesn't require medication. It just requires, like, stop and listen to the child and like have some trust in what the child is telling you is going on, you know. And but I do believe that with each growing generation, and as the belief in these kinds of things is on the rise, that, you know, fewer and fewer of those kinds of things are going to happen. Because, as you say, you know, one child says to their mom, I want to meditate, and then the next thing is they're looking up for somebody to help their child meditate. You want to meditate? Meditate. No harm can come from that, you know. And so, you know, I believe, I remember one time I got into a scrap with someone on a radio show in a chat room, and they were a guest on someone's show. And I had said in the chat room, like that, for children that are empaths, they can really be abused, either by their parents, by bullies, by just basic misunderstanding as well, can cause a real psychological problem that compounds their empath problem.
Yeah.
And so I said, hopefully one day in school they'll start to teach kids about this, about how to close your energy and keep it to yourself, and how to protect yourself from other people's energy and things like this. The woman flipped out, lost it, she must be from the hardcore right wing or something like that, because she's all, wow, they want to do that, and I don't want my public school dollars spent on that. And here she is being a psychic on a freaking radio show. And I'm just like, why is it okay, for our children to be so deeply misunderstood? Why, if we could fix it with a little bit of education on that in school, because a lot of them aren't even getting freaking breakfast at home. Do you think that those kids are going to get any education on on what, crying all the time? You know what I mean? So there's some things that we need to look at doing in school with kids. And for sure, start with meditation. That's a great place to start. But I'd really love to see there be some kind of discussion, even if it's once a year or something, a special guest comes in and talks to kids about their feelings and emotions, and how sometimes you'll feel really sad and you don't know why. And when your mom and dad ask you, why are you crying? And you don't know, and they get mad at you, there's a reason why that's happening. And,
there's a young lady here in Australia, and she started this parenting tips page, because of what you were saying, that's what she started it. So she started this parenting tip page on Facebook, and now she started these parenting tip courses to teach parents how to enhance their parenting ability, but to look at it from the child point of view, not just from the parent point of view, Right. And she's got this reward. It's called parenting chips because she uses poker chips as rewards type of thing, in which they will equal to whatever you want it to equal it, money or a gift or whatever, Yeah. And she runs these 6 weeks courses with parents, and she's I was talking to her yesterday actually, because I wanted her to interview her for something else that I'm trying to work on. And I said, how did you get started? I said, well, in my house, my parents, we always had Wednesday night, Mom used to call it bitch at me session, which I didn't like that name, but I knew what Mom was doing. And Mom always used to say, okay, here's your chance to tell me whatever you want to say. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get upset or anything. I'm going to listen to what you got to say, and hopefully we'll understand. And whenever I did something wrong, my mum never told me off. She always said to me, help me understand why you did that. You might have a good reason for doing it. So tell me, help me understand why you're doing that. And then out of all that, out of her own upbringing, and the world's so screwed up, she reckons, that she's worked this out. And she's actually been getting a lot of recognition for it, because she's actually turning families around, that children are being heard as well as parents being heard, but it's a better integration in the family itself. And it's exactly what you were saying. That's why she did it, because she believes, children have been misunderstood. She said, I've been lucky. I was blessed enough that I was brought up in a home that what was heard, and my parents listened to me, and I was listening to them. It was an equal space, but not every parent has that.
Right. Yeah, exactly right. So we can, and I think that unless some radical thing happens, which is not out of the possibility, but, that this natural progression of spiritual understanding will continue, and a higher level of consciousness, I guess, will prevail. And, I used to say that, remember back a number of years, and the big talk was always HARP, HAARP, which was HAARP, like affecting the weather. And so what it is like, it's like hundreds of thousands of watts, millions of watts. It's a bunch of different antennas, right? And they put them all together, and when they focus all of the energy from those antennas in a certain spot, then they can cause destruction, or they can influence the weather, they can do this or that. And I always said, like, as people, and other people, I'm not the one that came up with this, but like I sort of, when I talk about it, I relate it to HAARP. And so that is to say that when we do Reiki, or, you know, whether you're formally trained or not, we all are emitting energy. Yes?
Yes.
And so, I mean, even a rock is emitting energy. A piece of paper is emitting energy. Now, if we can focus all of our energy, so if you have 1,000 different radio antennas, right, and they're all going to focus their power and all them millions of watts in one area, why couldn't like 1,000 people or 10,000 or 1,000,000 people, right, focus all of their energy on a particular spot? And people do this. There's, you know, people that get together on online, and they will all agree with a target location and send healing or energy to undo something that's happening, or, you know, that kind of a thing. I think that, you know, if there were a storm system coming, for example, it's possible that if you got enough people together to push it slightly off track, that might be possible, you know?
Yeah.
So when I talk about getting people together to do, like, if HAARP can do it, then theoretically people can do it. And if people can properly direct their energy, then theoretically it should be easy enough to do if you have enough people participating. What I can't measure, because I don't have any scientific ability to do so, is how much energy can one person put out? And then that would tell me how many people do I need to participate. You know what I mean? For a thing. And so.
I mean, energy builds up anyway. I mean, look at it, a room, like my meditation room, for example. I've used the same meditation room for 25 years, purely for meditation, spiritual work, reading, or anything, any work that I do it in that room. I mean, this radio show is the only one I don't do in that room because the computer's not there, and I will not have a computer in that room, right?
Yeah.
But you can actually tell, you know, the energy builds up and builds up and builds up. You know, and if a place is used for the same purpose every time, it creates a build of energy anyway, and it becomes stronger and stronger. So it's the same when you get a mass of people, you know, and that's where sometimes a lot of miracles are made, like in Brazil and stuff, because you've got thousands of people with the same intent, exactly the same intent. And because they are really projecting the same vibration, the same loving energy, naturally it's going to be unbeatable, and it is going to create the changes necessary 9 times out of 10. Now, there is the odd time that does it, right? Because it's always that one, right? But, you know, it does generate, and it grows and grows and grows. So magnitude and quantity, it's amazing how it can work, you know. And it's like little things, you know, like my grandma always said, you know, just try and make sure that when you get a group together and you're going to do intense work, get them all to be dressed in white, get them all to be wearing the same energy, you know, and you'll see that the magnitude will be greater than most, you know. So the more that we are in the same page, the stronger it'll become.
Yeah. Which is why, like, and I think that there actually is a bit of an understanding of this at these what do we call them? Like the dark governments, or what are the shadow governments and whatnot, you know, is that because there's an effort always, it seems, to be, like, if they keep us peons busy fighting with each other, then we can't be fighting them, because we're exhausting all of our energy fighting each other. And so they're constantly coming up with ways that will disrupt any kind of kumbaya, you know what I mean? Any kind of coming together that we as people, as a community can do, because it's not in their interest that we be together at all. We're a dangerous force when we're together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We the people. And so similarly on an energetic level, same thing goes. But it's just hard to do that when you got such, you know, when still on this earth there's so much hatred still. Yeah, theoretically we could say, well, all the people that aren't having that hatred, like, come and send love, you know, like sometimes I say, sometimes that's good, send love, right? But sometimes you got to bring a good old sturdy pair of steel-toed boots to the war, you know what I mean? Like, and like love.
Not some sensing to you.
And so, you know, I don't know what the magic answer is other than we, the people, have to really start to look at why are we hating each other so much. Even if it's just over, you have a different idea of something than me, you know? And we have to really find ways to overcome. Like, first of all, let's learn how to do civil discourse, you know what I mean? Let's learn how to discuss our differences civilly. And that alone will change the energy, you know what I mean? Rather than getting all angry, yelling, calling names and belittling people and all of this kind of stuff isn't going to answer the question you're debating, and it's only going to throw more dirty energy into the mix, I think, you know?
Mm.
I think just being civil to each other alone would change things so dramatically. So dramatically. Like if everybody would...
I was at a lady's house. I was at a lady's house the other day, and because I'm working with her daughter, you know, with a drug rehabilitation. I'm working with her daughter. And there was another lady there, which I know her daughter is into drugs and stuff like that, heavier drugs than that, but she's not seeking help. And I was talking to this lady, and this lady had the goals to tell her that, you know, her daughter's on drugs because she's not a good parent. And I was sitting there watching. I said, God, how could you even say that? She goes, what do you mean? I said, have you looked in the mirror lately? And that's virtually all I said. Did you look in the mirror lately? And she walked off, you know. Yeah. And this lady, you know, she says, well, is she right? So I go, no, she's not right. It's not your fault your daughter's decided to do whatever. She's her own person. You know, we're not responsible for our children. We educate them, we help them, we teach them, but they're going to do what they want to do. So it's not a case of you.
Kids are going to try stuff. Like you tell the kid, a good parent teaches their kid, don't touch the stove, it's hot. It'll burn you. Your kid touches the stove, no matter how many times. Well, okay, so now the problem is this, is don't take drugs, it'll blah. Okay, kid tries drugs. Now, these days, some of those drugs are just so crazy addicting.
Mm.
Like, instantly addicting. And that they're, you know, it's almost like after the first time they've gone and tried it. Not like when you used to, I remember the first time I smoked a joint and I was up on a roof of a garage with my friend and it was dark outside and I was like, you know, there we were hacking and coughing and choking and smoking this joint up there on this roof and like nothing in that was going to get you like hooked.
Exactly.
You know, it's why the guys in the sex trade who are, you know, scooping women and then they just start to drug them because then like the addiction itself takes care of the rest. Yeah. Like you don't even have to hold them hostage anymore because they're hostage to the addiction, and if you've got the medicine for them, then they are going to do whatever it's going to take to get that fix. And so that's the difference these days, I think, is and a lot of the times it's it's like I hold the pharmaceutical and the doctors and them like really responsible for this crazy thing that's going on with all these opioid addictions and deaths that are going on that are just at epidemic proportions. And, kids are stealing pills out of the medicine cabinet. You know what I mean? And like, it didn't used to be that way when I was a kid. Like, there might be medicine there, but I don't think that there was anything that was crazy addictive like that was available like this for most people,
Yeah,
like
true.
First was like Tylenol free, you know what I mean, or something like this, or 292s or something like that. And it was just like now, like they got, like, you get one back injury or one surgery or something, and like all of a sudden, like, you're at risk of being addicted to pain meds now, and like I don't know why they had to do that, like, other than because as a civilization, as human beings over all of these years, like, go back to Little House on the Prairie or the caveman even, there wasn't anything. You hurt yourself, you've had the pain, you lived with the pain, you learned to live with the pain would go away or it wouldn't go away or whatever it was. Carried on. Nowadays it's like they got it into your head, like, you don't need to feel pain. And like, sometimes maybe you do need to feel pain. Maybe feeling pain in some ways is sometimes what will protect you from causing more harm to yourself. Like, if you have a bad back or something and now you're so doped up, you could be doing stuff that's making your back worse and not really, whereas if you're just on like normal pain medication or whatever, or none, then you're going to feel every tweak. You know what I mean? But why people, I don't want to feel pain, give me a pill for that. I want to sleep right now, give me a pill for that. I want to wake up right now, give me a pill for that. Give me a pill, give me a pill, give me a pill. And, then that gives you all these side effects. And then you have to get more pills to take care of the side effects. And oh my God, it's a vicious, I really feel like that my fear of doctors, ever since I was a very young child, is what I came to Earth with, very deliberately and purposely. Because I feel like that by staying away from the doctors as much as I have, is what kept me as healthy as I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It is like boys don't cry, I mean, boys need to cry. It's my granddad used to say, it takes a man to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. I mean, we all need to really feel whatever feeling we have, whether it's happy or sad, whatever. We need to deal with that feeling because it's part of a transition of, whatever it is we're going through, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it all is meant, and so here comes man with their science, and they can make $1 billion off it. So that's, like, all you have to do is listen to some of these commercials, like, may cause suicidal tendencies, and they in a small percentage causes death. Like I'm gonna die because I want to get rid of my social anxiety or something, or I'm gonna risk my very life to take this pill. May cause liver shutdown and the host of things that these medications are causing as side problems are much worse than what your original problem was. I don't understand. And so the pharmaceutical companies have gotten way too much power, and it's that alone that has allowed this to become as bad of a problem. And I don't know how bad of a problem it might be in Australia or other countries around the world, but I'll tell you what, in North America and United States for sure, it's very bad. Very bad.
It's all about the money.
Like, I heard the statistic last night, so how, talking about, what's his face? Trump had said many, many times that he's declaring a national state of emergency. And then yesterday he downgraded that state of emergency just so that not as much money can be thrown at the problem. And so then, the people start debating it, and they're going, well, like, how much money do you want to throw at this problem? And so the person says, well, look at, how much money more people die every year by opioid overdose than were killed at the World Trade Center bombing. You know what I mean? Or at the World, at the World 9/11.
Yeah, the towers. Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's not every year, but so more people, they're equating the number of, let's say every year. Like, if every year more people are dying by that than by the World Trade Center event, how much money were you willing to throw at the World Trade Center event to prevent that? How much money do you put into preventing that? Well, you're losing that many people, boom, 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 from this. So how much money is it worth? And usually the thinking on, I think, the government side is, well, it's like a low level of people that are the ones dying, so we can afford to lose those. But it's not. It's, it's rich people also have doctors that are giving them, the pills, and their kids are getting into their medicine cabinets and dying, And so it's not just people have it in their mind that this is like a low, the low class problem. And I'm here to tell you, it's hitting every class of people. And so, when you look at it that way and you say more people are dying every year to that than died in the World Trade Center thing, and how much money got spent in response to that, why doesn't it make sense to throw money at responding to this, And so anyway, let's put a song on. If anybody wants a reading, now is the time to get into queue. And if we don't, then we'll wrap a little bit early, maybe at the bottom of the hour or something if we don't have any callers, you guys. And feel free if you want to call in and chirp in or chime in, whatever, you know what I mean? But we'll do a song now, and then we'll come back and we'll see where we're going to go from there. And let's see. Brandy Carlisle, the story, beautiful, beautiful story. Of course, I loved that song long before, but, I always remember how our friend Yvette, formerly Scott, Yvette Howell, we did her wedding live on the air. And her mother performed the ceremony, and her mother was kind enough to, sit there holding a cell phone on speakerphone, call into the radio show, hold the cell phone on speakerphone, so that we could broadcast live to our listeners her wedding. And so we had it all queued up because with the song, so that she wanted that song to be played. So I played that song on the show, and their cue was, as soon as that song finishes, start your whatever, the ceremony. And it went really, really well, and so that song always also reminds me of Yvette. And I hope she's doing okay with her husband and everything like that. He had that bad accident, and I don't know what the situation is. If anybody does, let me know. Okay, can you guys let me know either by just hitting your one button or saying in chat whether any of you guys, hi Dan, I've been missing you, by the way. Was worried about you. I thought you left me and everything. I have abandonment issues, dude. And you just suddenly don't show. And he's probably saying, well, what about you? Nights you don't have shows. And so anyway, maybe he was going and meat shopping or something. And
yeah, but I was working, and I'm working now. That's my life, work.
I know, you're a good man, Charlie Brown. You're a good man. But do you slow down in winter for work then?
Yeah, we were supposed to, but it just doesn't seem to be happening this year.
Well, it's not winter yet.
Yeah, well, usually by this time we got nothing but rain here in Washington, so.
Yeah.
We had a few days, and now we're back at it.
Geez, hey? All right, well, that's good. I'm glad you're here. Nice to see you. There's always this we got to have our token male. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well.
And sometimes you're not alone. Sometimes you're not alone. So, okay.
It's always got to be a rooster between the hens.
That's right. That's right. And so, okay, we're gonna let Dan get back to work. Now, Amy or Mary Margaret, you're the only other two there in queue. So, if you're there for reading, let me know now. Otherwise, we'll
I'll take a reading just to keep the show going.
Oh, okay, just to keep the show going. Okay, Amy.
I'll take one for the team.
One for the team.
Me too.
Okay, Mary Margaret. So
Mary Margaret can go first.
Okay, you got Mary Margaret first. Mute yourself, Amy. Okay, Mary Margaret, come back.
I'm back.
All right. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Miss Amy.
It's so sweet.
Hi, Selva. Long time no see.
Hi, how are you, Mary Margaret?
I'm hanging. How about you?
I'm sitting. Oh, hanging gets tiring. No, I'm well. Thank you very much. Mary Margaret, what's with your knees? My knees are really hurting. They're really hurting, and it's like they feel heavy, and it's a bit of a concern because when the legs feel heavy, sometimes it's not the legs, sometimes it's the kidney. The kidney, so I don't know, just be careful. Make sure you keep yourself warm around the kidney area. Make sure you don't catch a chill or anything like that because it's there's a heaviness on your legs, but it's really centered on the knees. Now, also metaphysical, the knees also represents like a fear of change, that we need to make a decision, but we are concerned about making the decision, so we're scared to move forward and onto that direction. So it either could be a metaphysical condition or it could be a physical condition as such. I'll let you choose which one it will be for you. Also, your right eye, my eye's getting a little bit, as I'm talking to you, it's getting a little bit weepy. So I don't know if you're due to get your eyesight tested or something, but it's actually quite weepy. It's actually, it's teary. So it could mean strain or an emotional blockage, so you're not expressing an emotional situation and you're not letting people know exactly how you feel. So it does show you do need to centralize yourself on you a little bit and become aware that you need to acknowledge exactly where you're at with you to be able to be understood by others on that vibration and to consider your own strength as well. Also, there's I can see that there's money going through your fingers. It's like you're making some financial decisions regarding an appropriate term of payment for some reason. It's like you're getting things into order to make your money stretch that little bit more. And I feel that you are making the right decisions, and I do feel that you are going to see the light at the end of the tunnel because of it as well. So it's actually really good. Now, did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm having, I did something to my shoulder. I don't know if you see the medical.
Well, the left shoulder.
My left shoulder, the one,
and it's on the back, at the back of the shoulder itself. It's
yes,
like, it's not the front part, it's like the back of it. And there's if you, can you see me? Can you see me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Put your arm straight like that. Right? And then put your hand like that, and you'll be able to feel there's a tiny little lump just on the top of the shoulder. When you put your arm up, you'll be able to feel that, which it does mean there's a muscle spasm in there that's actually is creating a lot of the problem there. So if you know someone that can be a good friend and give you a bit of a shoulder rub, preferably with warm oil.
Uh-huh.
If they can warm the oil or warm wax, it's got to be a warm thing. But warm oil is usually best. So it'll penetrate faster into it and it will disperse and it will actually relax the muscle and that, because it's like you jarred it in a way, but also it's like, just feel very tense and very delicate, but I can feel it exactly where it is on that little thing. So if you can find someone just to warm up some coconut oil or peanut oil or I don't know, any oil, even olive oil, that's pretty cool too. and actually, but warm it up a little bit, not hot, just warm it up a little bit, and it'll work and intensify a lot quicker. And it'll work into that area. Or if you know anybody that does doTERRA oils, then get the ice and just put some ice on it. Ice is an oil. It's an oil mixture, especially for that. That'll work in there as well. But the left shoulder is also family matters as well. So there are some family issues that you're going to have to, that you're not dealing with, you're not making a decision on. So it's like that there's a metaphysical meaning for it as well.
Huh. That's exactly what it is too. Yeah, that lump's real tender.
Yeah. Yeah, so see if you can sweet talk someone with warm oil and deal with it.
Okay, cool.
I would offer, but, it'll take you 48 hours to get to me and, and a couple of $1,000, but, I'll do it for you.
Well, thank you very much.
No worries. God bless.
Take care.
You may as well tell her, too. Like, you just had, I don't know how long ago. How is your knee coming after your surgery?
My knees are good. It's, I have balance problems yet. It's like, I have to use my canes because I can be walking along and it's like all of a sudden I feel like I'm going to tip over backwards.
When did you have surgery? I didn't know you had surgery.
Yep. Yeah, my
God, I'm behind the times. Wow. But I don't feel what I was picking up on the knees. It was both knees, not one. I was picking up both knees. I really feel it's more like a kidney chill, not the knees. It's that they're reacting on the knees, but it's not the knees. It's like, and that will affect your balance. That will affect everything. So make sure you keep yourself warm around the kidney area, please.
Okay. I sure will. I've got on the flannel nightgown now. It's cold here.
All right.
Well, have a good night, ladies.
Thanks,
good night.
Thanks, Selva. Thanks.
Okay, so you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, Amy. Hey, Amy.
Hold on. Oh, wait. I got to find a phone charger. Lordy.
Lordy, who turned 40? 40. Is Keanu here?
Look who's 40. 20
yeah,
okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Amy, I feel shifts and changes around you. You've only just moved into a new place. Why on earth would you move again? But I really feel that about 6-7 months you're going to move again, and it's going to be a lot better for you still. But it's like it's not a unit. It's like a more homely type of space. I get it. Yeah, it's like I feel for you because it's taking you so much to move, and now it's other move again. But it's better for you, and financially will be better for you because I think the rent will be a little bit lower, but it's a better financial benefit to it. So it's actually very, very positive. I'm also getting like a real sharp pain right in the middle of my head as I'm talking to you. Like there's this pressure, right in the middle of the head, and I don't know whether it's your crown chakra is blocked or whether someone's really, excuse my French, really pissing you off and you're steaming up. But there's something that you need to clear, something you need to really let go. It's almost like a volcano waiting to explode, So it's like you need to let go of something, but it's right in the middle of the head. It's right where the crown chakra is. It's like it's really tight and it's like it wants to burst, but it's like you're not letting it burst. So I don't know whether you're biting your tongue a lot or what it is, but it's like there's an issue there. It's going to come to a climax and it's going to explode and it's going to be good because after every storm, there's always a rainbow. It's actually very positive.
Right. I'll have to figure out
but it's
what
like
it is.
neat.
I'm not really paying much attention. Up late, so I don't specifically know what it is, but I'm sure it is because this morning at work I was really really worked up, but I don't even know what it was. It wasn't like I was I'm mad at this person or I'm mad at that or
Yeah, it just
I don't
feels.
even know, but it definitely was there because I was really, really acting irritable.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. But it'll come to a climax. It'll clear very quickly. So as fast as it comes in, the quicker it'll return into normality, which is actually really, really good. There's also a family gathering again for you as well, which is really good. I'm really glad the family's reconnecting in a much closer level as well. And what's so special about the 25th of November? Is there anything special for you that day? Because I don't know, giving it the 25th of November, something special, like a celebration of some type.
Well, yeah, I'm going to, I think I'm going to Seattle for Thanksgiving. And the 25th is part of that weekend.
Okay. Yeah, but it's the 25th, the magical day. There's going to be something beautiful that day. That keeps it coming up, something beautiful, and it's like a leap of faith. It's like I see you happy, like you're sitting there smiling, and it's like, shit, yeah, it's the way it should be. It's really good. It's like it's really cool, and there's a lot of happiness connected to it, and there's a lot of hope and transition because of it as well. I really believe that your life is actually going into such a high level of inner peace and personal delivery now that it's actually really beautiful, and I'm sitting and I could see this beautiful calmness creating around you, and it's actually really good, and you have this ability now to brush things off a lot better than what you did before. It's like if it doesn't affect you directly, you don't give a damn, really. You just keep going. And it's good. It's like you're brushing things off. You're not letting things to get to you as much as they did before. So it's like, but from the 25th of November onward, there's this sense of harmony. Beautiful. It's just beautiful. I can't explain it. It's just, I feel this beauty, this happiness. It's really beautiful from then on. So bring it on. Bring the 25th of November because it's a turning point for you. It's a huge turning point. Yeah. Yeah. When is Thanksgiving? Sorry for my ignorance, but when is Thanksgiving?
It's the 23rd of November.
Okay. And what really is, because it's an American tradition, right?
Yeah, it's an American tradition. We don't really exactly know what it was.
I beg to differ.
Okay, it might be a Canadian-American tradition, okay? It's from your end of the world, anyway. But what is it?
Canada did it. Canada did it first. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, but what is Thanksgiving? What is it?
It was when
is it just a thank you day?
Probably.
We have it differently. Ours is different than theirs. Ours has already been early October. Theirs is like third week of November or something like that.
Okay. Okay, and what's it about? Is it just about saying thank you?
A harvest feast. It's a harvest feast. The Pilgrims sat down with the Indians and celebrated the first harvest in the or something. But
okay. Yeah, like the Italians have the blessing of the fleet here in Australia.
Yeah, it's like that. It's just, but it's like a happy. It's a happy day.
Yeah.
It's a happy day. We eat a lot. It's very focused on food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very focused on food. Lots and lots of
in South America, we have this thing on the 25th of November. We put our Christmas tree up a month before Christmas. Christmas on the 25th of December. We put our tree up on the 25th of November. And that day is really about food, but it's also a day about inviting people that don't have much into your home and feeding them as well. It's a grace day to be thankful for all that we have and how we are able to share with others, and it's actually a beautiful thing. And I thought maybe Thanksgiving was something similar to that, but no, it's not.
Well, it is sort of similar. It does sort of have, it does sort of have some undertone to that. It's funny because there was a couple of years, like after my husband died, and I wasn't talking to my mother, and my kids lived far away, and so I didn't have any place to go on Thanksgiving, so I would go and feed the, to like the homeless and feed the homeless. But the problem with doing that was that the people who would go to feed the homeless were also obnoxious because they were all having some kind of issue with their family or something, So the homeless people were fine. They were happy as clams, and because they're a resilient people. But all of the helper people all had some kind of, were all there because they were running or hiding or mad at someone or something. It was just so fun. It just cracks me up because it was like the exact opposite. It was the exact opposite. It was like, I'm gonna go help these people when the people who decide to go do that are the ones that need the help.
People that didn't want to look at themselves, they just wanted to concentrate on everybody else because it's a lot
feel
easier.
Good about themselves when really they probably need to go sit at Thanksgiving dinner with the relatives they hated and try to bring forth some healing, but instead, like, oh well, I'm just going to go help the home, but they weren't really. They were trying to help. It's just sort of a funny. It just kind of
they were running.
They were running.
They're runners.
Right.
They're runners.
There were so many. There were like too many people. There were more people who wanted to help. There were more people running than there were the alleged disadvantaged.
Fair enough.
Alleged.
But that's good. But for you, I'm glad. I'm glad that things are moving forward. I'm glad things are falling in place.
No, I do. I feel I'm in a very, very good place. I'm very content, even though I'm very content. Like my life has certainly been much more exciting at certain points of time, but when it was exciting, it was filled with, I'm very content. I'm very content. So
you're at peace.
That's good.
Yeah. And I'm glad. And I really, I can't wait to talk to you, again after the 25th. Just to see what is it that's going to happen.
I do know what you're talking about the move, because I don't like where I live as much as I thought I was going to like. Don't like where I'm living as much as I thought I was going to like where I'm living, and I'm looking for a place. I'm looking for a place to move in an area where I want to live. It's just going to take, it's just not the thing. It's just not.
It'll be after winter that you'll move anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see you moving, before winter's finished. So you'll go through winter there, and then you will move. But it'll be good because it'll give you time to really look and reassess, and also, you really don't have that much, but yet I see you reassessing what you do have as well. So it's actually, it's like you're simplifying your life more and more every chance you get.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Which I think is wonderful. Yeah. All right.
So that's good.
I hope that helped.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Big help. I'm glad that I asked for a reading.
Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah.
Just checking. I've noticed Robert came in. So now we have a little bit of time, and so there's two things. Is number one, although it's probably harder for you, but I think you've done it before. So if there's someone in the chat room that can't call in, is there anyone that wants a quick message from Selva from the chat room? And secondly, if no, okay, so Keanu. Now Keanu, you could, so Robert and Keanu. Both of you guys could, if you have a headset, all you have to do is click on the headset in the upper left hand of the screen, follow the prompts. It says, do you agree to share your mic? Yes. Then it asks you to do a quick sound check so that you'll speak into your mic, and if you can hear yourself in the headset part, then you say yes, and then you're in, and your mic is activated. I could unmute you, and you could get a reading. So I think Robert's going to try that, and Keanu. Looks like they're both trying. So it's better, I think, if we get them on for you than if they're just in the chat room like bumps on a log. You know what I mean? And so it looks like it didn't work for Keanu, but it did work for Robert. So let's go get Robert. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing good here.
Awesome.
Robert, my tennis player.
Yeah, I wish.
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastically well. And
awesome.
Nice to hear your voice again. Robert, there's so many little changes that are actually happening all around you right now, and it's really, really good because it's like you're in a bit of a speed process and you're moving fast towards some changes. But you need to sort of slow down a little bit and reassess and really acknowledge how do I feel about what I'm doing and how it's affecting me on a personal level as well. Because otherwise I think you're going to miss an important point of the transition as well. There's also a bit of affection connection there. It's like I get this love feeling around you. And so there's a better clarity, communication and direction with a companionship in there as well. So it's like your life is actually trying to structure itself into a much more normal type of pace itself, because it's like you've just been living on automatic for a while, and without offending you, it's like you haven't put a great deal of thought behind things. You've just been doing it. And now it's like it's time to think. It's time to really acknowledge, how do I feel? How does it affect me? Do I really like this? Even that shirt I'm wearing, do I feel good about this shirt? Or am I just wearing it because it's clean? You know, just acknowledge how you feel with everything, because that's really going to help you accelerate and become aware of the changes that are manifesting around you. You're in a really positive space of vibration and growth right now. In a humane way. I wish I could say that about money and that, but no, I can't. I'm sorry. Just going to have to work that little bit harder for that. But emotionally, and you're a person that when you're in an emotionally happy space, when you're really happy with you, everything just flows easily, you know. So it's like that's the missing link. You haven't been acknowledging you enough. You've been acknowledging what you had to do and what your responsibilities are, what's expected of you, but you haven't acknowledged how does it affect me? Why am I doing this? What is it that is doing to me personally? So it's really wonderful to see that things are actually moving along for you. Just got to put that personal touch along the way to help it move even better and smoother.
Oh, now I got to unmute him. We were getting feedback from his mic. Go ahead.
Okay, is it doing it now? I plugged in my headphones so you couldn't, so I didn't hear the.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a kind of okay life, I guess. Things are happening that you get roadblocks in life, and you try to go forward, but I try to think positive. It's kind of hard though.
It's not thinking positive that I'm telling you, Robert. It's just acknowledging how you feel. It's not a case of positive and negative. It's like saying, yes, this feels good, I will continue. This doesn't feel right, I'm not doing it. Acknowledging how you feel, how this affects you. It's not a case of positive and negative. It's a case of acknowledging how it affects you directly.
Okay, I want to tell you a story. You're going to laugh at this one, you guys. The other day, 3 weeks ago, I went to go in for a colonoscopy. But my body and my mind is telling me you can't go under. Okay? Something scared the holy crap out of me to tell me, no, it's not, you're not ready yet. You can't go under because you might not come back. So what I did, I went all the way to the doctor's, got undressed, and said, my mind told me, nope, it's not time. I got back dressed and walked out the hospital.
Good on you. Good on you. That is the right thing to do.
Yeah. It when your mind tells you, no, it's not right, that inner cell or whatever you have in there, Well, it told me it wasn't time you can't go under because you might not come back. So what I did, I got redressed and walked back out of the hospital. Yeah. So now I'm going in 3 weeks.
That's okay, and that is perfectly fine. I'm glad you did that because obviously it was not the right time.
Yeah.
And that's good. You acknowledge how you felt about it and how it was going to affect you directly, and that's exactly what I really want you to do more of.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to bring the balance back into your life.
Yeah, the inner soul of me tells me to listen to it when it's right and when it's wrong. And yeah. I totally live for that.
Yeah, good.
Because if not, then, like your body tells you when there's something wrong before the doctor. That's why you go to a doctor. Exactly. There's warning signs there, and in life, if I sense that it's not good, oh no, you ain't going to get it out of me. Yeah. That's for sure. And if it's good, I'll run with it.
Good.
But that's who I am.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm really glad because that's exactly how you need to be because it's like you got longevity. You're going to be around us for quite some time yet, which is really good. So we'll be able to learn lots from each other. But it's just allow yourself to connect with your feelings, and that's all you can do really. Financially, I don't pick up anything at all. That's really sad, but no, it's not bad or good or anything. It's just that everything is the way it should be for now. It's like, it just is.
Yeah, sometimes when you can't pick up on it, it's okay. I totally understand all of that, because sometimes there's not nothing to say.
That's right.
And sometimes you can tell me a whole lot that I would just go, wow. But yeah, I'm okay with that. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Awesome sauce.
Yep. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Robert. You take it easy. All right. So the thing I was going to see if you would try, which I don't think we've had you do before, is just for everybody in the chat room, if you could ask for and receive just a general message to carry everybody through the week. That's in the chat.
First of all, I want to send something to Kiana. Kiana, if you're still there listening, are you still there? Acknowledge me, please. Just write down on the chat line, yes, I'm here. And I'll tell you something. If you're there, Kiana.
Just type yes in the chat room.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Kiana, you're peace farting around. I don't know what, you know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. It's like you're procrastinating about something, and it does show that you do need to make a decision because it's not just affecting you. It's like it's affecting all around you, and it's like other people are not moving forward because you're hanging on to everything too tight. So you need to relax a little bit. And let things change. Don't be scared of changes. Don't be scared to move on. Don't be scared to pack up and go. Don't be scared to create that move into the future because it is time for you to move. You also got to get writing. You got to get in touch with your indigenous. You need to get in touch with your foundation. You need to get in touch with your core. And understand your core and understand where you're coming from. Stop trying to fit into the world. It doesn't fit in with you. Just be yourself. And when you're walking your truth and you're walking a direction, you will attract into your life what you need in your life. You don't have to go out hunting for it. You will attract it, but you need to walk your truth to be able to do that. All right? So write on the chat line and let me know if you got that and if it makes sense for you. Okay? Awesome. Fantastic. All right. I'm just going to have a quick look at everybody's name. And, what happened?
What? We're here.
Where?
We're here.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, got you. All right, sorry. I'm just going to, I did it again. I just want to look at quickly everybody's name on the chat room. Yeah, all right. In the new mind of vibration, there's a transition happening with all of us. Actually, we're all here today for one understanding. The understanding is actually of the self and the true space of the oneself. A lot of the energy that I'm picking up in there's a lot of indecision. There's a lot of energy of indecision. It's like there's a lot of people in the group today that are in two minds about changing a major space in your life. And it's like we need to create those changes. We need to move forward, but not consider how is it going to affect someone else. We need to consider how is it. I'm going to include me on this. Actually, I'm including Selva on this. You know, it's like I'm telling this to me too. It's like this, that we need to put things in place into order, because it's like there's an evolution happening. There's a change happening. And this is purely spiritual. It's got nothing to do with the material world. This is purely spiritual. It's like we're all going through a level up of acceptance of who we are and the gift that we have. Stop justifying ourselves. We don't have to justify ourselves. We just got to be. And also we just got to accept that not everybody's going to do it the same way as what we do it, but they're all doing it the right way for themselves. And if we all share it with one another, we're all going to grow together. We're all going to be stronger together. We're all going to be able to deliver together. And listen to the sound of silence, because the silence will tell you everything. From the nothing, something comes out. We always start with nothing, and from nothing, everything is created. So don't think you ever got nothing, because you really do have everything. It's just that we're blind to what we do have. Yeah.
Right. Good. That's awesome. Okay, well, so we're going to know by what, midweek, whether you'll be able to make it next?
I definitely will be here next week.
Okay.
Like, I've already changed we've got a roster going with my sister, with my mum. So she's giving me this Saturday and she's giving me next Saturday. So she's been a good sister. So, yeah, I'm doing during the week next week, and I've got these 2 weekends available, which is good. Right. So next week 100% sure, but I don't know about the week after.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, beautiful. So, listen, thank you very much. We'll see you back here then in 1 week's time. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Oh, Keanu can talk.
Yeah? What do you mean Keanu can talk?
She just wrote. I finally worked out my microphone. She just sent me a message, a private message.
The microphone's not activated on my panel here, though. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like it's quite there. But everybody, thank you for coming, everybody. And nice to see you again, Dan, if you're still there. And nice to see you all. We're back tomorrow night with the great Corinne de Winter. Corinne. And so we're back then. And you guys can get a hold of Selva at Facebook, selva.mix, and or just Google her, for crying out loud. And so with all of that said, thank you again, Selva. Great show, great discussion, and we'll see you back here next time.
Next week.